Looking at the Propylaea, which was the gateway, the goal with the Propylaea was to deny access to people who were not ritually clean. It functioned as the place that, you know, there was this hierarchical approach to who could pass and who could not pass. All right. It had the Ionic order for the capitals. It was a complex building, and it did have sort of a temple front. So let me try and get this to move. There it goes. All right. And it was approached, there was a pathway that was sort of circuitous that went up to it, and then there was this very ceremonial set of steps. You can see in the background this big statue. That would have been the statue of Athena. Later, when Rome took over, I believe they replaced it with the statue of an emperor. But it was supposed to be Athena that was sort of up on the top there. And you could see this sort of approach coming up to it. You can see the plan of it. These two plans happen to be turned 90 degrees to each other, so I apologize for that. Sectional view through the Acropolis of Athens, the Propylaea. So it had on the inside the volutes of the Ionic order and the tall, slender columns, but on the outside, on the outer sort of pieces to the sides and on the front facade, it had the Doric order. It also had that at the other entry gate. So the finer sort of proportioned elements were on the inside and the other pieces were to the outside. Here is what remains of the Propylaea, and you can see the sort of portion of the portico and the triglyphs, the mitos, and the Doric columns on the front. All right. Another element that's up there that we talked about is the Erechtheion, and specifically the caryatid porch. The caryatid porch was a series of maidens that acted as the columns that supported the porch. Sorry. Another view from the opposite side, and a view as it exists today.
So it's like next to the entrance.
Backing up to here, the Erechtheion. The Erechtheion was to one side of the Parthenon. The old temple of Athena was in between the two. It was actually up already on the Acropolis. Okay. Really, what I should do is in each of these, I should have like a little plan that shows where each of the buildings are, where you're looking at the pieces from. Here's an actual view of the caryatid porch and what remains of it today. A view of a digital view of the Parthenon as it might have existed. That's a digital model. And just drawings of it. And part of what's kind of interesting is what occurred on the inside, there was this, what they called a cult statue. And the cult statue was the statue of Athena. All right, so this is kind of an old black and white line art drawing of it. And here is a more sort of artistic rendering of it, showing kind of an odd view because they combined a sort of an overhead view of the cella and stuff with the sort of perspective view of the inside. So you have this bird's eye view kind of tilted up over top of a perspective view underneath. All right.
It's Athena, right?
Athena, yes. Wherein the name Athens comes from. One other component that I want to just make you aware of is there are remnants of Greek houses. All right, and so we talked about a lot of the sort of civic architecture and there being remnants of it. And there are areas, however, where the Greek house was preserved. And one of the things about the Greek house that you guys should be aware of is that usually it was made of mud brick. So unlike all of these sort of stone buildings, these things were mud. And they had a courtyard in the center. The women's quarters and the men's quarters were always separated. And they had, believe it or not, I was reading in a different place that they have this room that was essentially a party room for the men. So you can see how they used the courtyard to kind of bring light down into the center of the building. And that is what I have for you all in regards to classical Greece. Yes, sir?
Are you still able to go into ruins?
No. Well, you can go into like the ruins of one, but there isn't, it's not like they look like that. I don't know if they've reconstructed one. I have yet to go to Greece. I'd love to go to Greece. It is definitely on my list. You gonna survive, Marco? You gonna survive? Oh, bummer.
Thank you.